How do you feel about NASA's plan to deorbit the space station after 2030?
So,
Give us backstory on this.
so the thing is that the International Space Station is hitting end of life, right?
Yep.
That's just the nature of a structure that's been up so long. Because Rob, how long has the International Space Station been up?
70s?
Because
80s?
you've been alive that long.
It's almost been my lifetime, to be honest
on.
with you. I believe when they first started putting it up there was
Because I'm going to make this joke every
Yeah.
time. We have internet.
Yeah, there we go.
We're no longer recording on our phones. We've upgraded.
Yeah, we're no longer recording on our phones.
It's been a long time. I know that.
1950s, as early as 1950s, American space pioneer Werner von Braun.
No, but the International Space Station. Not how long have we been in space,
Yeah, we
you
know we've been there.
jackass.
We
you
don't
piece
need
of
to know
shit.
the first space
had-
daddy. We
Yeah.
need to know the first space station
Stop
daddy.
giving me the first space daddy.
International space.
Now
I'll
give me the
just put
first
the
space
proper
doggy that died
Space
in
dog.
space probably.
1984.
84.
It was
84.
designed in 84 and 93. Elements were created throughout U.S., Canada, and Japan, and Europe as a whole, beginning in late 1980. So I would say 1984, considering that's the earliest.
Dang, that's a-
Expedition began in 72. So we started it, I would say, in 84.
That's about as old as our dad, I think.
I think older. Our dad's older.
Your dad's older.
I hope so.
I was born in '88, bro. Your dad's older.
Oh well, I can't math.
Yeah,
There you go.
dad's 50 something. So he's
Yeah.
older.
So-
yeah,
Yep.
So the International Space Station is going to be orbited, and I think it's a sad state of affairs because there's no plans for a replacement. Now, the reason why I understand why they have to deorbit it is because,
Safety.
well, yeah, because it's just too old.
Didn't we
Right?
just have astronauts stuck up there?
Yeah,
I think
we
they're
did.
still there.
We did. Yeah.
They are still there?
Yeah, I think they're still there.
I think
Okay.
they were planned to be there through Christmas because the next mission couldn't be launched safely until afterwards because of all the prep work.
The last government,
Oh yeah,
loosely government, probably couldn't get up there because I know Elon with his SpaceX and Bezos with.
we can
Whatever.
get up there.
Whatever
It's
his
just
program
No,
is.
no,
What
we
you're talking
can
about.
get up there.
We can get up
Yeah,
there.
they're not that high up in orbit. They're pretty
No.
they're pretty low.
it's
And
just. at
that's
least
actually
for
one of the-
public knowledge of what I could find.
Yeah, it's
It
one of
was
the actually
still
counter
Christmas.
arguments. Instead of it, one of the counter arguments is to actually put it up in higher orbit, and the reason for that is not that we would necessarily use it again, but the fact is we can put it in a higher orbit and use it as a test, and we can see what the effects of long-term space on a craft that is. Especially if
That's-
we're going to be building aircraft.
That
We're trying
would
to
actually be a good
trying to
use
build
of
craft
it.
that maybe do
I know
long-term space
That's
travel.
very interesting because I know for a fact, because we've had twins, one on the world,
Mhm.
on the globe, and one in the space station, and one ages faster on Earth
Mhm.
than the one up there.
Yep.
So that's very interesting. If we
Wait,
pushed it-
really?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
there is a time difference. The further
Time
you get,
dilation.
and the further away from Earth you get, the worse it gets.
That actually makes perfect sense.
That's why in the movie Interstellar, you have
Which
Oh my
all the
God.
science, they got close, but they were not accurate.
they were not accurate enough,
Movie.
They
but
were
they were
close.
close. The broad stroke of it was within the realm. That's my dog being stupid.
Oh,
But-
by the way, we have our furry co-host.
Oh
here.
yeah, we do
Oh,
have
yeah,
our furry
we-
co-host. Let's
we
go through them.
completely messed up
We-
on this one.
we
We have
got it.
Absolutely.
the tried and true Pearl,
Pearl,
and I think she still has her blanket on.
Pearl
her.
Scout. Pearl
absolutely.
Scout got a
Pearl
blanket
Scout's
when
killing it.
she was shivering earlier.
So you'll
Wrapped
see
up
in
like a
segment
grandma.
2, she has it. And we have a Cabo around here.
Yeah,
A Bo. You might see Bo.
Oh,
we have a
there's-
Toby.
There's a Lucy.
Toby.
She might flash on
Lucy-
camera for a
Lucy-
bit.
You
Lucy's
might see
new.
the top of her head.
Lucy.
She's Aardvark.
Lucy is Aardvark, and she's new.
We have a Loki around here somewhere.
Loki.
Oh, Loki's by the camera.
Oh, Loki
so if
is
the
by
camera
the
falls,
camera.
you'll see a segment of the camera falling, and that's Loki.
As
But Loki
does.
is avidly avoiding Lucy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I say that,
No.
but they were playing earlier.
Well,
Were
you
they?
had
Yeah.
Loki that chased after Lucy and scared the crap out of her, and it was hilarious.
Oh, here's a Lucy.
Come here.
There it is.
Oh, there's Lucy.
So we have our furry co-host.
Yeah.
But let's touch on the space station.
Yep.
So one of you guys, we were talking about time dilation. You were talking about Interstellar. We were
Rob,
talking
yeah.
about the difference.
Yeah.
Rob, how do you feel about us losing the international? This is the last great space.
Yeah, I mean,
The
like you
only
said, I
great
thought you had a
space
pretty good
station.
point in there where not having a replacement is kind of a bummer, because the idea is that what are we doing to keep going and evolving the next thing?
Yeah.
You know,
But
and-
has it not been for the past couple years? How well can we work with other governments instead of how
Yeah.
well can we actually learn about space?
that's you hate to see that those games get played into there, but yeah, unfortunately they do, right?
And that's my
And-
understanding. I'm definitely not fully invested in
Yeah,
the space station.
Either am I. I just you hate to see that would have to come to an end. Now, if it's reaching end of like we're just
Life.
so much to repair, stuff like that, cool. But like I said, I'd rather just put it up in a higher orbit where there's a little bit less space junk, and then let's study the effects of this craft long term.
Would moving the space station, I don't know, a mile out, assist in the issues of the space station?
I was trying to remember
From what-
the
from what you
article.
brought up,
It
that-
may have been Musk that brought it up. Actually, I think so. It takes the same amount of energy, I believe, to move it up the 14 miles to bring it into our orbit, so it's going to descend, and to move it 14 miles up, where we can get some additional scientific data off the thing.
Okay, so if it's
So-
the same
Yeah.
same cost,
Yes.
simply put, why not push it further out?
So I don't know why they wouldn't push it further out, other than the fact that they don't want to continue to maintain the station
So
itself.
I can actually think of a reason they would not push it further out.
Mhm.
So what you may not realize is the Earth, atmosphere, stratosphere, exosphere, the whole layered atmosphere, for lack of proper knowledge. Don't remember all of the layers.
Sure.
But because of that, it doesn't only protect against UV radiation, it also protects against asteroids. That's why you'll see streaks of light across the sky. It's not a shooting star, as what we may call it. It is actually an asteroid or a microasteroid that is burning up in the atmosphere upon re-entry due to friction.
So
So-
I'm curious if it's that, or also because there's so many different studies about the core and everything else of the Earth.
Mhm.
But with the core either being molten or solid
or
we-
Hollow Earth.
or
So-
hollow, we also see the North and South Pole over the hundreds of years,
Mhm.
thousands of
shifting.
years, shift. North is now south and south is now north.
Mhm.
We've seen this, we've proven this scientifically.
Well, magnetic north actually used to reside
In
in
true north.
Canada,
Yes.
and,
And
then
that's what I'm
moved
talking about. Yep.
since then.
So here's another crazy thing going to the core. Recent knowledge, because I actually had to study up on this stuff for college.
Oh,
Up, and the race
we almost had a
begins.
Loki Lucy breakdown with Bo.
Mm.
But
But-
all attaching to the space station. This is very much what I'm trying to think scientifically of what I have researched and what I have studied and understood
Mhm.
on this. Is it because we're due for another north-south pole shift? Or is it because it's breaking down and the government's not telling us something?
I realistically, I don't think it's anything like that the government's not telling us.
Okay.
I think that the international space just
It's just
hit-
old.
it's just old. It's just hit end of life, and they had the option to push it out or pull it in, and the easiest method is just pull it in, deorbit it, and then
So I feel like with the pulling it in, if they do it at the right angle, they can probably get most of it to just evaporate
just
and melt
evaporate and destroy
and just
itself.
become nothingness.
As long as we get those astronauts off.
Well, yeah, we do
Well-
need to evacuate the people.
Are the only
or,
ones?
Hear me
or
out. Coming from a
Are,
different
are
place.
Americans the only two on it?
I believe they're both American, if I'm not mistaken.
Because I thought
Right now,
I
there's
haven't
only
read
two-
up
there's-
on this.
Yeah, it's a man and a woman at this point.
So we only have two left on the
Believe so.
International Space Station.
In fact,
So-
they took a picture of them recently for Christmas, and
I did see
they
the
were actually
recent photo.
concerned about them because there's something in their features that has changed, and they're beginning to
Their
become
bone
concerned.
structure.
Something.
Interesting.
They just said they're concerned, so they need to get up there sooner.
Do
than
they
later.
look like zombies?
No,
Because I don't want to have space zombies. Okay.
All